They overlooked you. They dimmed your light too many times, so you won't elevate. They dimmed your light. They said that you was less of a person. When they dimmed your light, they said give up already. When they try to dim your light, they try to project negative energy in your mindset, telling you how slow you are, how retarded and stupid you are. When they try to dim your light, wow, so long of pain and trauma, trying to dim your light, but you're trying to show for yourself to elevate to become your best self vision of yourself. Dimming your light was never part of the plan. Once you reevaluate your thought process, I can't allow nobody to dim my light any more than I did. I understood at the end of the day, overcoming the pain and the trauma, it wasn't easy. But I became a believer within being a believer. Choosing me, I am a believer. You know that energy hit different? When you become a believer within a believer, they don't understand how you're a believer within you. You know that energy hit different? Choosing your best self vision of yourself to elevate, they're not going to understand you today. But you became a believer. Temporary situations within temporary situations, you became a believer. Being homeless, being in unhealthy situations, being around toxic, dysfunctional family members, domestic violence, you put a name to your book. Overcoming the trauma and the pain, they don't understand how you became a believer in yourself. You know, it wasn't easy. But you understood the assignment when it came to healing, to overcome the pain and the trauma. Dimming your light wasn't part of the plan, especially not in this journey. God's protection, direction. God's guiding you to better days ahead. When you don't understand how you became a believer within a believer. Because God believes in you and you believe in the God within you. God is showing you that there are better days ahead. God is being patient with your process for you to show up for yourself, to elevate, to understand the assignment within the assignment that I got to be patient with my process. You became a believer within a believer. Days when you couldn't see for yourself. You felt unworthy of yourself. You felt like you didn't belong. You felt hopeless. You didn't know which way to turn, who to trust. They took your kindness for weakness. Wow. It's crazy how you could believe in other people when they don't believe in you. They overlooked you for all the wrong reasons because they was in competition with you. They overlooked you for all the reasons because they didn't like you. And they didn't even have a valid reason why they didn't like you. Because you were you. Because you were a believer. You were a believer more than a believer when you least expected. They didn't think that you would pick yourself up when you became that believer. As you look at yourself in the reflection of the reflection of yourself in the mirror, that you are a believer, that you do matter. Wow, what a believer. Understanding, believing in yourself was always part of God's plan. Being patient with your process. Yeah, they overlooked you, but you became a believer. Understanding that a temporary situation can allow you to stop your growth when you became a believer. When that toxic relationship allows you to believe that you can't overcome the pain and the trauma and the abandonment and trust issues, when you became a believer, choosing your best self vision first, to understand at the end of the day, they weren't truly for you, especially the ones who overlooked you. They didn't take the time to actually get to know you for who you truly was. Because if they did, they would have respected you from day one. But they overlooked you. But you became a believer, not allowing someone to disrespect you even anymore moving forward in your journey. Because you're not deserving of that. Because knowing your self-worth, becoming a believer, was part of God's plan. You know these tools that God installed within us to become a believer? Self-awareness, self-respect, self-peace, self-control, self-discipline, self-confidence, self-care, self-value, self-love, self-worth, self-patience, healthy boundaries. Here you becoming a believer. Healthy boundaries, healthy balance. Here you becoming a believer. So you can elevate to become that believer. That God is still patient with your process. Here you became that believer within yourself. To understand that there are better days ahead. When becoming that believer, being firm within yourself. To understand at the end of the day, I walk by faith, not by sight. I am a believer within myself because I am the miracle to myself. I am the gift that God created. I am the gift that God allowed me to see of these tools that God installed within me. I could break it down as to not abuse them or mistreat them, let alone mistreat myself. How could I? I became a believer. So if I became a believer, I can't overlook myself or hurt myself or become my worst enemy because I became a believer. My past don't live here today because I became a believer. I'm thankful for God's process of me being able to show for myself in the most healthiest ways because I became a believer. It's the thought process of me where you become a believer. Be patient with your process. They overlooked you, but God never overlooked you. So don't overlook yourself because God is still being patient with your process. Like I said, this page is not for everybody, but I truly appreciate time to the genuine ones only. You know, when you're a child of God, you don't got to sit here and fake gaslight nobody when God is working miracles within your life and favoring you. You don't got to sit here and fake gaslight nobody and wear a mask to tune into yourself to be at peace with yourself when you mean what you're saying, that you're true to yourself, that you're authentic self. They're not going to understand, and it's okay. As long as you don't have malicious intentions to bring harm towards yourself and others around you. It's called respect, neighbor. I can respect my neighbor and stay in my own lane. My neighbor's not going to understand how God's favoring me today, but I know how to stay in my own lane and understand the plan that God has for me. Regardless of what trauma was endured within me from a child point of view going into my adulthood, when I became a believer, God was still patient with me. And I'm still patient with my process because I'm showing up for myself as I continue to become a believer, one day at a time, because I am a believer. Now you genuine love, respect. Just because they gave up on you, don't give up on yourself. Just because they overlooked you, don't give up on yourself. You are genuinely loved by all the right people. You are genuinely respected by all the right people. And you be treated with respect 365 days with no malicious intentions to bring harm to yourself and others around you. Never allow a hate in disguise or personal malicious intentions. It's like you watch your thought process letting your freedom in your pockets at the end of the day or your eyesight because they have malicious intentions towards you. Protect your energy because not everybody's having a good time. I truly appreciate time to the genuine ones only. I hope you have a safe day and a safe remaining week. Protect your energy because not everybody's having a good time. Now you genuine love, respect. Love yourself, love yourself. With God's protection every direction. Love yourself, love yourself. Love yourself, love yourself. With God's protection every direction. God is good. Have a good day. Later.